there folks, my name is Peter, and my Snap-on dealer just got back from vacation. That's right folks, so if you've been watching all my Snap-on unboxings, you know that most recently my dealer welcomed a third child into the world, so congratulations to him and his wife. Everyone's doing great. But he's finally back to work. And thank goodness that he is, because I haven't found any more good deals on Facebook Marketplace. Now when I got on the truck this time around, I had ordered a couple items ahead of time. 2 of them came home with me today. One of them I actually sent back, and I said, I'm not gonna buy this today. I'll tell you about that at the end of the video. But why don't we talk about what I did purchase. So first thing you'll notice, we have our new bleed chrome Snap-on hat, super cool. And as you saw in the thumbnail, we also have this little number. Now he called this something specific, but I don't really know what this hat is called. All I do know is this is a great summer hat. So I'm gonna leave this one out for the video, but I'm definitely running out of room in my closet for more Snap-on hats. Hopefully there's some new freebies coming soon. So first things first, one of the things I bought and that I was most excited to get on the truck to take home is this 1/4 inch Wobble Plus extension kit. Now, longtime viewers of the channel will know that I have stepped up my 1/4 inch game considerably. At this point I have probably 6 or 7 1/4 inch ratchets, and I have the triple bank Snap-on 1/4 inch socket set in metric. So the last thing that I really needed to pick up to complete my collection was a nice set of extensions. When I previously bought that Husky 300 piece mechanic set years ago now, and I don't know that I ever really told that story on this channel, but ultimately I was trying to change the cabin air filter in my truck, and at the time I had probably a 5-piece socket set. I no longer have it, but I had very little tools, and I was extremely naive. I had no idea what I would need to replace the cabin air filter. Lo and behold, I needed some metric socket that I didn't have, so I went down to O'Reilly Auto Parts. I bought a set of, I don't know, metric sockets, came home, finished the job, and then I said to myself, you know what? I never want to embark upon a job and then find out midway through I don't have all the tools necessary to complete the job. So then I went off and I bought a 300 piece Husky mechanic set, and I said, okay, now I have everything that I need. It was only several years later, I guess, to basically present day, where I decided, you know what? I'm gonna replace all that Husky stuff with Snap-on stuff, which is of course the videos that you've come to know and love on the channel. Speaking of which, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our new content. Anyway, Husky did not actually give me any 1/4 inch extensions that I can remember. I know I got like a short 1/2 inch, got a short 1/2 or 3/8, sorry, but I didn't have any 1/4 inch. So then it got me thinking, okay, do I want just straight wobbles? Do I want just straight extensions? Or do I want to go with the Wobble Plus? Now the Wobble Plus, for the uninitiated, if we grab one of our 1/4 inch sockets here, basically allows you to throw a socket on, and by default you get 16 degrees of rotation, right? So you get this little bit of wobble here. But if you decide, hey, I don't really need the wobble for my particular use case, you can click it down once more, and now you've just got a regular old extension. Now, the feedback on these seems to go back and forth. On the one hand, most of what I read suggests if you're a weekend warrior, which I definitely am, just get the Wobble Pluses. You don't need a set of wobbles and a set of regular extensions. Some folks have complained about the Wobble Pluses because when you're in this wobble portion, maybe you're going up against a bolt and then it just kind of pushes back even if you don't want it to, and now you can't really access the thing you were hoping to access. So I would say the feedback is sort of mixed, but generally speaking, I find that people appreciate these. All that being said, we got 6 extensions in total. I'm really excited to have the Wobble Plus. I think for me, it'll fit the bill perfectly. Now I don't need a set of straight wobbles and then a straight of just regular extensions. I can just have this and move on with my day. Next is another thing that I had purchased or ordered before I got on the truck, because the last time I was there, it was back ordered. And that is this 3-pack of carbide scrapers with the green handle. Now when I first saw these on the truck, he had them in the red handle, and I was like, you know what? I don't know exactly what my use case is for these, but I actually thought they were relatively inexpensive. And I said, hey, do you have these in the green handle? He said, of course we do. So I said, okay, I'll take them. Now they make a few different versions of carbide scrapers, right? They have the one with like the much beefier handle and the much shorter shaft. That's not what this is. I know Doc over at Last Best Tool did a video on some of the carbide scrapers in the past and sort of lamented the fact that this was not straight all the way across. It almost bowed a little bit, which is not what you want. I guess if I'm being a stickler, I can sort of see what he's saying, right? If I have this pressed on the precise top of this, I get a little bit, or ever so slightly, we're talking maybe 1/1000th of an inch of space there. But now I'm wondering if I get the same effect. Okay, see on the bigger scraper, I don't see that anymore. So what about if we try the smallest one that they give us? This one looks pretty straight as well. So I'm not sure if it's, you know, again, just a quality assurance issue, if it's something with this size specifically, but overall, I would say that these are in reasonably good condition. I do wonder why they only give you the plastic cover for the biggest of the three. That seems a little weird. And of course, I wish the set came in the foam. It really annoys me that they only make the foam for certain sets. I wish they made it for basically everything because I think it would be awesome. And I think part of their sales strategy is like, you know, they want you to buy stuff like this and then they're gonna come out with a foam set that is this plus maybe one or two other things, and who knows if you really need them, but now you're gonna trade in and trade up, and you know, that's the game that they're playing with your wallet. Nonetheless, I'm super curious to hear what you all use these Snap-on carbide scrapers for. I have a few use cases in mind, and of course, as you saw with my lawnmower video, I was doing a lot of scraping, so I think stuff like that, it could come in interesting. Obviously, you're not gonna bang on this. They do have scrapers with the metal plate here at the end, so if you're gonna beat on it with a hammer, you could do that, but that is not what these are for. And ultimately, I'm just happy to have it in the collection. Now, at this point on the truck, there really wasn't too much else that I thought I really needed. So I just kind of killed some time, and I don't know, I ended up buying a few more things. So first, let me get back to the thing that I purchased but didn't end up coming home with. That was a 15/16 half-inch chrome socket. Now, I've been talking a lot about half-inch on the channel recently. On my lawnmower, it requires an SAE half-inch socket. On the boat, for the propeller, it requires like, I think, a 1 1/16. The 15/16 is for that lawnmower bolt that holds on your propeller blades. And while I have all of that stuff, I only have it in 12 point, and obviously, I don't have any of it in Snap-on. Further, I don't actually have a half-inch ratchet that I'm really proud of. So I told him, you know what, keep the 15/16. I want a full set of SAE half-inch sockets. So I'm gonna pick that up on a future trip. But for today, I decided to come home with a ratchet. Now, for this one, he had a few different options on the truck, and I was debating, you know, do I just go straight chrome? Do I go hard handle? Do I go soft grip? Do I go flex head, not flex head? You know, I mean, when it comes to ratchets, I mean, there are just limitless possibilities. What I decided for my use case is that I definitely did not want a flex head. For the use cases that I have today, I have easy access to the bolts that I'm looking to take off. Further, I didn't want something massive, right? I mean, they make huge half-inch ratchets if you need a ton of torque, and certainly in a lot of applications, that's what would be most useful to you. In my case, this is actually just a step up from the half-inch stubby. So once I decided on this size and no flex head, I had to decide on the grip. Ultimately, I went with the hard handle. It's so interesting because like this is a 3/8 hard handle, and I just don't know that this handle size is proportional relative to the drive size. So I find that to be a little bit interesting. And what I mean is like, this is 3/8 and this is 1/4 inch, but these handles are basically the same exact size. So I found that to be a little weird, but when I felt this hard handle in the gription that I got with it and the ergonomics of it in my hand, I felt pretty comfortable. And of course, what people like about the hard handles is that they're easy to clean and all that stuff. So I was pretty happy to pick this up. This is their 80 tooth. He did have a few of the 100 tooth ratchets on the truck, but as I've said in previous videos and people leave comments all the time, the 100 tooth just isn't ready for prime time. So we're gonna hold off on that for now. And while I will pick up that SAE socket set at some point in the future, this is what I came home with for today. Now at this point I was ready to get off the truck. I was like, hey, this is gonna be a relatively inexpensive Snap-on adventure. But then I opened his pre-owned tools bin and I said, that's a mighty interesting extension set you have there. Specifically what I stumbled upon was this 5-piece 3/8 extension set. Now, of course, it came in the foam, and to be clear, that is a big part of the reason why I bought it. He has had extension sets in that pre-owned bin before, but never in the foam. Now this, again, contrary to the 1/4 inch Wobble Pluses that we picked up, these are not Wobble Pluses. These are just your regular old extensions. Again, from a 3/8 point of view, I don't have anything like this. Now, you saw what just happened there when I put this on, right? The weight of this extension is pulling down the flex head. It's sort of funny because you could basically, I don't know, carry it just like this in your truck or something, and you always just have this ready to go should you need it. But I've been finding that this flex head really bothers me lately. So much so that I'm thinking to myself, you know, even though I don't use a ton of 3/8, now that I'm really committed to the 1/4 inch stuff, maybe I want a locking flex head. Maybe I just want a regular old ratchet. Because when you need the flex, don't get me wrong, it's great. But if you don't need it and all you have is this, man, I just find it to be a giant pain in the you-know-what. But anyway, with respect to the extensions themselves, we got a 3-inch, a 6-inch, an 8-inch, we got a universal, and then we have a 3/8 to 1/2 inch adapter. To be clear, I don't think this was the best deal in the world. I think he charged me 130 bucks for this. It is a deal, right? It's just not a screaming deal. On Facebook Marketplace, probably could have got this for under $100, something like that. So take it for what it's worth, but I'm always happy to add more Snap-on stuff, especially if it's in the foam, and in this case, something that I don't already own. Finally, I'm checking out, he's got my credit card, and then I say, hey, what is that over there? And he said, oh, this is our new set of magnets and mirrors. I said, well, I definitely don't need this, but I want it. Now, I wasn't even able to find this on the Snap-on website. And I guess that could mean one of two things. Either, hey, this is discontinued and it's old news and you guys are gonna tell me in the comments, hey, there's nothing new or interesting about this, or it's a brand new product that just, I don't know, isn't on the website yet. But with this, you get two magnets. Supposedly this is a 5-pounder, this is a 2-pounder. And what I really liked about it is the fact that it has the instant gripped handle. Now, I think that this is new because they only have them in the green handle. He couldn't even have ordered me the green handle, but for something like this, I didn't really particularly care. So this thing extends out to, looks like about 28 inches. And like I said, this is supposedly capable of picking up about 5 pounds worth of stuff. I don't think it's gonna pick up all of our sockets, but it can pick up at least this one socket. And then the smaller of the two, the 10-pounder, has a handle that you're more likely to see on a much smaller of the Instinct screwdrivers. For example, I've got here my T15, right? Oops. And it's the same handle design. This one, the 2-pounder, looks like it extends to about the same width, a little bit shorter, about 26.5 inches. So you're giving up a little bit, but of course you can't pick up something quite as heavy with this. And now here's something that someone on the comments is gonna be able to answer for me. This portion, right, at the end here, you can pull it back. Why is that? Is that to replace this magnet, right? Is this like sort of a locking mechanism so I can swap out the magnet if it, I don't know, breaks or loses its grabbing capabilities in the future? Anyway, the third and final piece of this set is the mirror, again, with the instant gripped handle. You know what's funny is that on April Fool's, Snap-on posted on their Instagram page that they were coming out with a toothbrush in the instant gripped handle. And they meant it as a joke, but everybody in the comments was like, oh no, if you came out with an instant grip toothbrush, I would buy it. And I think that's probably true. They could throw this thing on just about anything, and somebody, me, might buy it. Anyway, this is our mirror. I realize that it's just close to the camera now, which really isn't doing me any favors, but so yeah, you have a little inspection mirror here. This thing extends all the way out to about 30.5 inches. I thought this was a pretty neat piece of kit. The mirror itself will twist basically in 360 degrees of rotation for you. And of course, the mirror itself will actually also go, you know, what is that? From basically -90 to 90 degrees, so that's pretty cool. You can get into a lot of pretty tight places if you're looking to do some inspection type stuff, and now that it's on this instant gripped handle, it'll be more comfortable than ever before. So anyway, folks, that's all we bought for today. This is the middle of June. Now, I'm thinking that my next trip to the truck to pick up those SAE sockets, and I have, I think, one other thing in mind that I want to get immediately. I'll probably do that later this month or early in July. I'll wait for the next flyer to come out. He also had the Flank Drive Plus full set of metric wrenches, and I said to him, you know, do you have like the master set? And anyway, we started talking about that. Hopefully it's gonna go on sale at some point this year. And if and when it does, I am picking it up because I can't imagine anything cooler than having every single wrench in that Flank Drive Plus in this toolbox. So that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what I should be buying next. And if you have any commentary on the products that I've purchased so far, be sure to let me know down in the comments. And I'll see you on the very next video.